Hello there, outliers. Niiamah Ashong here. Thank you so much for letting me be a part of your day. I'm going to move my camera down just a bit because we are rocking today for the first time, the first ever Outliers Edge hoodie. We are in the game. We finally got swag. It's taken me so long to go and do this, and my one of roles in the past used to be all about this here. So let me just go and say I have some audio coming through. Sorry for the audio feedback. We're here today. The topic for today is keep improving what's working, even if it's not perfect. Keep improving what's working, even if it's not perfect. And this came because I was sitting here. It's the beginning of February of 2026 as I'm recording this one, and I just got done a wonderful 4 day, or actually like 2.5 day, 2.5 day uh, retreat to go spend some time working on the business, doing like seeing what's working, and being able to have some heads down time. Well, it was more than this heads down time. It's also heart open time, and I'll make another video around some of the learnings that I had from that. But this period, it gave me some chance to do a retrospective and to see what has worked and what hasn't been working. And I tend not to do this at like the beginning of the year, like most other people do. It feels more performative for me when I do it then, versus now when it feels like this is the right time. Like there's something that is being called of me. And what I realized here was that I have this pattern of bringing things to life, taking enormous action, but it's almost like in spikes, and rather than it being continuous improvement. So, and what ends up happening is that it's less the spikes. I guess the real thing for me is I'm looking at this and saying, how do I make sure that I can just continue, right? The At first it was about what is the right thing to do. I'm past that I'm past that stage in my entrepreneurial journey, and I think I'm still holding on to vestiges of that past self, of the, oh, I'm not sure, I'm not, like, there's more that I need to know, there might be something I'm missing. I have this tendency to feel that if it isn't working right off the bat, then it probably won't work at all. And why is that? Well, it's because, like, from my outlier self of things, I've, like, at a certain point, I became a higher performer, and I was used to things that I started doing working out, and used to being able to get pretty quick turnaround on it. And now that turnaround has become, uh, it's been more delayed in terms of getting the feedback of something working out. And as I'm saying this out loud, what something else that's also coming to mind is, beforehand I was also working in a company. So whether or not something was working or not, I didn't have that, like, I didn't feel that pressure to make sure that it turned into results right away. Right. In an organization, I was going to get paid regardless. Right. But now as an entrepreneur, it's like, all right, I've invested my time, energy, skills into this one output. Did it give me the returns right now or not? And honestly, I just think that I've been too impatient, and it sucks because I don't want to admit that, but I feel that that's become, uh, it's something I've been working on for several years, and at the same time, it's still quite, um, quite present. And so, this message here is more for me in this place to just keep improving what's working. Rather than stepping out and trying uh, to to assume that something isn't working right. It's like, how do you, like, keep improving what's working while it's not working? I think that's it. It's like, keep improving what's working while it's not working. If I was going to redo the title, that's what I would make it. Uh, because it's an interesting thing. It's like that. I think that is the real, like, dichotomy. It's not about trying to make it perfect or not. Like, that's less it. It's more that I've seen some things that are showing, like, evidence that this could be going in a good direction, that it's leading to something, and then, like, before I actually get the rewards of it, or like let it all come out to fruition, I'm on to the next, or stopping. Really, what happens, I'm gonna make sure I'm speaking to my future self here so I don't do this again. But I what ended up happening is that I end up hitting up, realizing that I'm like, oh, this doesn't seem to be working. I must be missing something. Let me go back. Let me stop let me stop what I'm doing, figure out what's missing, go build that thing that's missing, and then come back and do it again. Right. And what's happened is that I always think that stop what I'm doing period, or is going to be like a day. Then it ends up coming a week. Then I'm like, well, it's already been a week. Might as well make it 2 weeks. And the next, it's like 3 months have gone by, and I'm like, oh, I have to go start this thing back up again. I'm feeling that right now. I'm feeling that with the podcast conversations, right? So we were doing. There's a time where I was doing 6 recordings a day with 6 people in it. So about 30. Let's just make it five for conversation's sake. So five recordings a day with 6 people in it, 30 people each time, 3 times a week, 90 people I was meeting through my podcast. And there were times where I was doing that week after week after week. I did it for at least 10, maybe 12 weeks altogether, but let's just use 10 for simplicity. So it was like 900 people that came in through just that experience. And then I stopped because I was trying to convert people, and I'll come back with that word convert in a little bit. But because I've now upgraded it to unroll, which feels really good. But I was trying to convert, and I was like, this is not turning into revenue. It's a lot of time, but it's not turning into revenue. And so I started to slow things down, do less conversations, and tweak here, tweak there. And this has almost always happened to me. Once I start slowing something down, it basically means it's gonna stop. It just stops very slowly. And what I'm recognizing right now is that I like there was nothing really wrong with it. Like I like the volume was good, but I like the problem wasn't the traffic source. The problem was figuring out the conversion side of things, and the enrollment side of things. And I've been working on that for a while, because what ends up happening because I keep stopping things, it clears up my calendar, and then from this clear calendar, I then go out and try. Like I have this space to go and recreate, and I use that, but it is recreating. I didn't mean to say recreate, but that's actually what's happening, rather than improving, rather than improving it, even though it's not working to the level that I want it to be at. Like it is fundamentally still doing what I want it to do, which is to get me in front of new people, help me meet new people on a regular basis, so on and so forth. What in your world right now do you have that is working for you that is not working as well as you want it to be? What do you have right now that's working for you that isn't working as well as you want it to be? And what would it take to actually like to be able to so now I'm going to play this out a little bit here. There's a part of me that asks the question of what will it take to just stay the course, and allow kind of like time to catch up, because I think that is a big part of it. What does it take to actually allow your muscles to grow so that you can now operate at that next level that's happening? What will it take to be able to make the improvements and while continuing to get the benefits of what at least what you are getting, right? And that's something where I think I missed it. I was like, I want it all. Let me go for the whole thing. And as a result of it, I ended up stopping what was actually working. And I am a bit embarrassed to say this, but I feel like this has been the consistent theme throughout my entrepreneurial journey. And it's just time for it to stop. That's really it. So this message is here to remind me to keep improving what's working. I think I'm going to make all my titles like, what do I need to hear? What do I need? I don't even know watch the episode. Like if I could just see that again and be like, oh yeah, there we go. That's what matters. I'm going to make this real too. And then I'm going to jump off. But the we're at the beginning of February, so we just finished January of 2026. In mid-November of 2025, I came up with the 10K live game, which was out in 10,000 minutes live before the end of the year. I had 6 weeks to go and do it, and I loved that game because it blew my mind. I had to just record. There was like no logical way to get to that number, but I tried to logic it. I'm still in the process of logicking it. And so what I recognize is that from November 17th to about December 17th, about yeah, whatever, a month's worth of time, I got an 811 minutes of recording. 811 minutes. I didn't hit even 10%, but that was 811 minutes of me being out in front of people. What was that? What did that translate into in terms of the total number of hours? Just to put that into something that feels more tangible for people. That was 13 and a half hours. So I did 13 and a half hours of live streaming during that period of time. I then went and I just looked at my January numbers for this month, and during the month of January, I recorded live streamed for 311 minutes, right? So that was a 500-minute difference. The 311 minutes is about 5 hours and 11 minutes. Exactly, actually. 5 hours and 11 minutes. So I went from in November of 2025, like come up on a whim and saying, I'm going to play this 10K live game and get an 800 minutes in, to January being like, all right, let me just try and get this right. Let me get the system right first before, like, it doesn't even make sense for me to do more live streams until I know I can get the return from it, because I know I can do the live streams, but I'm not going to, like, so on and so forth. There's a little bit of this back and forth that was going on my mind. And it really came down to like, all right, well, it's not working as well as I want it to work. And what is the point of putting any energy into this until it starts to work? And I think that that part right there is off. It was working. That's the thing. It wasn't until it starts to work. It was working. I had people who I hadn't seen in years reach out to me. I had people that were like, "Hey, I see that you're doing live stream," or like, "Oh, like you have a business," or you're like, I didn't realize it, but like it kept me from being like hidden, right? Even if no one watches this, this is going out on LinkedIn's, Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram at the same time, every single time. And then my team comes in and we are able to make clips out of this, turn them into quotes, be able to do a lot with it and help us get back out into the world. And we're seeing, as a result, we're starting to see some of the, like, we're starting to be able to come up with an actual like social media, like thought leadership first approach to growing our community and our movement. Because we're starting to see the results. We're starting to see what gets traction and continue to grow from that. That is because I showed up, and this is what I had missed. I had missed that, like, even if it's not the opportune time, even if it's not working out, like it's the act of showing up every day and bringing that level of consistency. Not only does that improve the experience overall for like my learning trajectory, but it also like allows for you still, like, I'm still getting some returns from it. And I think that like I'm recognized, this is why I like to do it live. Eventually, we'll come back and I'll have a teammate come and say, like, say this again, but just like with less sprawl. But y'all are getting the real deal right now here. And but what's coming for me is there's hopefully I didn't lose it. Um, I got it back. So at the core of this year is I've been finding 2026 has been this element of recognizing that I think that I'm maximizing out in the world, but what I'm really doing is optimizing. Right? Like there's a distinction between optimizing and maximizing. And for me, optimizing is saying, how can I get as much as I can from as little as possible, or for what I got, right? How do I get as much as I can from what I got, or from as little as possible? Maximizing is like, how can I get as much as I can? Right. And so there's like an efficiency thing that's wrapped up in the optimizing that isn't there with the maximizing. The maximizing is like, even if the returns aren't great, if I'm still getting returns, I'm going to do it. Right. And the optimizing is like, well, you're not like, there's a better, smarter, faster, easier way. Why aren't you doing that? And as I'm talking right now, I'm recognizing that so much of that this live experience was one of those times where, rather than just maximizing and saying like, more minutes out in the world is more minutes out in the world, whether I have the perfect backgrounds or the perfect, I'm spending more time trying to do more prep, so I'll lose time. I probably still put in not 800 minutes, but I'm trying to do more to like prep beforehand. Like I'll go to ChatGPT and I'll be like, here goes what I think the topic should be, and help me figure out what the bullet points should be. Let's go and like write some more notes down. And all that is, it's good. It's getting me like to be better prepped for the conversation, but it's not, it's that takes like 30, 40 minutes that I could have been on here actually just being with all of you. Now, there's a thing to be said about quality and quantity, but right now I think it is a real thing that I get from actually being out and having the quantity out there to spend that time doing this. And I'll find a different approach to, I think I'm going to try and do a lot more of my prep work at one time, so I can just come in and just hit record and go, rather than every single time. But there's so much about my style right now that is like real time processing and understanding and codification, which will then come back later on and then tighten up, right? And so I'm finding myself in that space here and recognizing that I think there's a perfect example. The 10K live worked. I should go back to do 10K live. Like there's this, like, my goal really is to do 10,000 minutes. Like I think very the easiest game to play is 10,000 minutes in 12 weeks. That one makes sense. Another way of looking at it is 10,000 minutes in 10 weeks, which is 1,000 minutes a week, right? That's another kind of way of taking a look at it. Um, I haven't actually broken it down that way, but yeah, it feels pretty decent. I mean, think about that. That's like 50,000 minutes before the end of the year. If it was like every 10 weeks, I was doing 10,000 minutes. How much is 50,000 minutes? I think 10,000 minutes is 167. So let's just do 157 hours. 50,000 divided by 60 minutes is 833 hours in a year. Spending 833 hours in a year on live stream is one of the goals. I think that is, I'm like that feels cool. 50,000 minutes, like it's doable for sure. And honestly, it's a 3 hour thing's a little bit more. It's 3 hours a day every day. I'm not doing weekends to figure that out there. But anyway, I digress. You're going to see what happens here. But this is me trying to look into like how do I keep improving what's working, even when it's not working as well as I want it to. And that's the game. And the funny part is that I'm balancing this with the leveling up that's taking place here with Outliers Edge. So we're leveling up constantly, and I think that's one of the things that's challenging about like trying to find a balance between like just like uh, kind of accelerating a level up versus just allowing a level up to happen. The accelerating a level up is like, oh, well, let me take some time out and, oh, Allison, it is so good to see you. I've been wanting to call you. I'm so happy to see your face. I will send you a message in a bit. I just stop my message right here. My heart is like, yes. Thanks for popping in. Thanks for cheering me on. If y'all don't know Allison Crow, she is one of the most phenomenal coaches I've come across, and just great overall person. Why is she a great overall person? One, I think that she's been really consistent with who she is over the years. I've known her for almost a decade now, and I'm just a really big fan of who she is and how she shows up. She's an outlier in the way that she is able to take the things that the way that she experiences the world, the way that she sees the world, and she's able to bring it into different ways that are just really tangible, and just creates a ton of space for people to embrace who they are, and then codify that and leverage that in a way that helps build their business and their message out in the world. She's one of the people I really respect. So, Allison, I'm glad you were here. We will make sure we connect even further from there. All right, y'all. This feels good. I'm gonna end up dropping this call right now. This feels like I want to make a phone call, obviously, but I think the other part of this is I'm recognizing that there's a difference between when I want to make an improvement and when I want to level jump, and the component of accelerating the level jumps. Sometimes I end up like it's a lot. It's just a lot to do. We're moving to live streams, and I'm going from, okay, how do I do a live stream on my own whenever I want to? Okay, how do I go to the level of showing up every day at the same time, to like, all right, now how do I show up every day at the same time with an agenda that's already like that's thoughtful and put out and isn't just like stream of consciousness. And then there's another level. It's like, well, maybe I can't get to the every day at the same time, but I can at least get the agenda part down. Like what's the order that comes in, and now I'm like, all right, you've seen this a couple of times. You brought in different guests to have people in and basically do the Outliers Edge live show here. And that's been, sorry, like the roundtables here live, and that's been like, I'm like, okay, that's been coming together, and it's kind of like it hasn't been done very intentionally. It's been more like the vestiges of the podcast, what we had done with the podcast, kind of flowed into this space, um, rather than like being intentional and getting it done. And then I think the last part is like now we're looking to not just have these live streams in this space, but I'm looking to coach people live on here. I miss that. I miss like actually working with people in real time and then speaking to y'all from that place. Um, and then the other thing that we're looking to do is also start to have master classes, so that when you come into this space, there's it's not just my idea. We're teaching something, and I'll probably have master class roundtables like together because I'm good at having roundtables. I like having people come in and talk and chat, and but share from a real perspective. And I think that works better than slides for me. We keep it real here because you're going through what you're going through and building is real, and then. the last thing that I want to say on this is then we're looking to see like, okay, how do we do it so that Niiamah is not the one that's leading the masterclass roundtables? Like, is there a way that we can have other people host it? Is there a way that we can make sure that they're getting visibility and beyond and really well compensated for through this experience? So like, I'm working on that right now. It's like, it's just the thing for me is I want that last vision. I'm like, how quickly can I get to that last vision? And I'm trying to go through the accelerated path of it. And as that's happening, I'm recognizing I can't let this go. I have like this has to be. Um, I used to work at Deloitte, and they would say when you want your promotion, you have to do your current job and half of the next job. And I think that I've been trying to do. I'm like, well, I've been trying to do like 50% of both, as opposed to uh, you know continuing what's happening, what like where I show up, and then add in more on top of it so we can get to whatever that next level is. It's funny. I learned that coming on 20 years ago since I entered the workforce, and it's taken that long for it to come in, but it's not reinforced on a daily basis. So, all right, I feel good with this. I feel good with this. I'm glad that we're here. I'm looking forward to seeing where the rest of the conversations are. And if you want to, like, this is me. I'm going to come share my learnings in real time. Like this is who I am. All right, this is how I like to be out in the world. If you want to come in, like, if you want to be in a place where we like deconstruct more, unpack more, and help you do your leveling up. You're seeing me share my leveling up journey in real time with you here. But if you're like, all right, yeah, I get your journey, but I want to do it for me. Well, I invite you to come take us up on the Level Up launch. You can get that with your free membership once you join the Outliers Edge world. So just go to school.com/outlier, and it'll take you right there. Entry is free, and we'll get you on your Level Up launch and see like, all right, what does your next level look like, and help you be able to create in a way that allows you to sustain what you have, keep working on what's been working, while also up leveling up to higher levels so that you can get to what's coming next. All right. Leave a comment with your biggest insight from today. If you're gonna let's see if you're down with what this video had today, leave a comment that just says keep improving. That way I know that you're here. I know that you watch this. I know that we're all in this here together, and it's a message we can keep sharing with one another. All right. I will talk to you soon. In the meantime, be well and journey on.